Welcome to the word of the. Sorry, welcome to the Deku of Terminator Part 3. So, as soon as Journal went to the hospital, Deku and Skynet were like arguing that they should probably eliminate her. Skynet's like saying like, yeah, we should, but we shouldn't. Deku's like saying, why? She gave us away. Skynet's like saying, well, she hurt us, and she barely saw almost not everything that was in my eyes, but she kind of saw through yours, actually. Chick's like, what? She knows what you look like and what your schematics are, if she even got that far. Deku says, fine. But as precaution, Skynet, I'm making a serum. So if she just tries to tell us about us, the nanoids that will be injecting into her will kill her. Not kill her, just make her shut up. Is that fair? This guy's like, it's fine. But we are bringing her back here. Looks like, fine. Deku drives most likely to the hospital. All Class 1A is like right there, standing right next to her. And Class 1A is like saying like, whoa. And Kirishima's like, are you okay? Journal's like, I'm fine, just I can't remember much. I have lost a lot of blood, and the doctor said I kind of have a bit of memory loss, so. He's like, that's kind of good, but. And of course, Aizawa's there is like saying, listen, you're going under the hero protection, and Nezu says, and there's a phone call saying that it's already been done, Deku's taking care of her. Because Nezu saw some of the footage. And Nezu's investigating Deku. And Nezu's trying to find evidence, but each time he finds it, it gets deleted. It's like saying, huh. So, someone's more advanced than me hacking. Oh my. Quite troublesome. That's pretty good tea. Nezu says to Aizawa, let Deku take her. And Aizawa says, why? Nezu says, well, we're dealing with powerful people, Aizawa. And Aizawa's like, what? And this is me to speak. Well, there's actually a problem. I tried to search up footage of the incident, but I couldn't find any regarding the villain guy. You know, I would say Deku's like actually not there. He just hears like them talking through the monitor, like talking through the computers on the phone. Deku's like, okay, Skynet. I'm gonna put on these clothes that I wore, and people kept calling me a villain, so I'll break into the place, inject the thing into her neck. Does that sound good? This guy's like, of course, but don't get caught. And also, I made your armor a bit more durable. Your clothes a bit more durable. He's like, okay. And also, the T-800 that you've acquired has the endoskeleton been fully repaired. So, when you come back, would you like to spar with it? Deku says, hell yeah. As Deku drives his changes his motorcycle style, Deku says, deploy number 582. 582? No. And this one's way more faster bike than the bike that Deku's riding. It's like there in 4 minutes. Deku drives up to there. Vroom. And then that's when Deku decides to put on the mask and just walk into the hospital. He's like carrying like some sort of, you know what? His motorcycle's driving so fast that Deku told us to stop, and immediately he leapt 20 feet all the way to the hospital room, and Aizawa sees like a figure going to the window and kicking Aizawa in the face, breaking the door down. And Class 1A is like, "What? Hold it right there, villain," because Bach only like the girls are there. I'll say because Katsuki had to go like somewhere with Bakugo, and Bakugo's like all the way to the like downstairs to the in the hospital. And Deku notices that some of the girls have decent quirks. Deku's like, analysis engaged. Warning, some acid, but easily can be evaded. Planning scenario complete. Deku decides to like say like she saw something that she shouldn't have. And I'm like, well, too bad, you're going to jail. And Deku says, you can't attack a hero without a hero license. Aizawa says like, you can use your quirks on him. Deku's like, you motherfucker. As Deku proceeds to like grab Journal by the neck, and Deku telling them to step back, otherwise he'll crush it. They proceed to do so. Deku's like, you're pretty smart for kids. Deku pulls out the syringe, and they're like saying, "What's that?" Deku's like, "Oh, this won't kill her, if you're wondering. It will just make her not tell you guys anything about the incident. If she even tries to, she will shut up, and if you keep bugging her about it, her oxygen levels will decrease immensely. But if you leave her alone long enough, she can actually get her oxygen back, or her breathing more precise, or I can just stop her heart." Deku seeks to check the syringe in her neck and they're saying like, "No!" And Deku's like, "It's too late." Pulls out the syringe and falls to the ground. What? No, she doesn't fall to the ground. Deku decides to like change the plans because All Might's coming and All Might's gonna be there really quickly. And this is gonna be the most bizarre thing. You know the T-800? Well, that's not Deku wearing the suit. That's the T-800. I just blew your minds, didn't I? I blew your minds. As the guy's like picking her up. As the T-800 picks Juno up, rushing out the door, breaking the window. Gets on the bike, rides away. Yeah, it's the T-800 that Deku destroyed. Like, shove the head off, but it's working properly. Deku decides to play the act. Deku driving his bike all the way to like where the guy is. Deku tells his bike to like stop. Immediately, Deku like kicks the bike's wheel off, but not as far as catching Juno. Juno wakes up. She's like saying like, "What happened?" Deku's like, "Are you alright?" Juno's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, but weren't you at my house before?" Deku's like, "Oh shit, she's almost remembering." And that's when the girls like Mina and Class 1A girls like rushing down all the way downstairs, and they just see Deku like holding her, and he just said, "Here, guys, take her. I'll take care of this guy." And they're like saying, "What's your quirk?" Like saying, "I are you?" And then they're saying, "Are you sure you can handle him?" "Oh please, this guy will be a piece of cake." Deku says that, but then he gets punched straight through like a wall, and Deku's like, "It's all the best you got." because I can do a lot more damage. As both of them being colliding together, Deku begins punching the guy in the face, and he breaks the mask, and then Deku and the T-800 punches Deku, but that's Terminator takes Deku's arm, disables it, and Terminator kicks him all the way to a building. And the girl's like, Deku, you okay? Deku's like, coughing out fake blood, and Deku's like, I'm fine, it's just, this guy may be a little too strong. As all they see as, there's no mask anymore, they're just red eyes, and the guy, T-800 pulls the hoodie down, and you just see a machine there, just standing. And that's when it walks away, taking Deku's bike, hacking it into it, and driving all the way to where Deku's base is. Deku's like, come on, that's my best bike, like that. Then Juno remembers the whole incident, how her mom died. Deku came to save her, and he came to save her again. She kind of blushes at this. As Juno says, you're the one who saved me from last night, aren't you? Deku's like, yep. And Aizawa's like, what? And Deku begins to tell lies, well, I've been having people kind of track me down. And Aizawa's like, why? Because I make the most advanced tech ever, and I wouldn't be surprised if there would be a price on my head. And Aizawa was like, I see. So why did you tell the school? Deku said, well, if I told the school, there could be spies in the school, and then they could have tracked me back to UA, and then everyone would have been dead. And I was like, well, do you know what the machine is? Deku says, yeah, that's a T-800. It's a pretty strong model. However, T-400s are pretty weak. And I was like, what do you mean a T-400? Well, let's just say someone got their hands on some of my blueprints and stole them. And they started making machines. And I was like, I see. Deku says, and also, now that they know that you and I are connected, they're going to be coming after you. Juno's like, what did I do? Deku proceeds to say, you had my phone. That thing last night tracked it all the way to your place, and it thought it was you, but it was my phone. And that phone leads directly where my base is in the Savannah Desert. And I was like, what? That far? Deku's like, yeah. And I was just, okay, how do you get here so fast? As I was like, Stu, because he sees where I treat papers, and Deku says, boy, she should have told you this. And then Aizawa says, well, keep sending me messages, I just couldn't be bothered. Deku's like, well, my bike's really fast, so I can just get here for 27 minutes, but not my bike. He can have it. I'll just go call my new bike. Deku just pulls out some keys and just presses it. And the new bike comes out. It's like, vroom. And Aizawa says, Juno, you're no longer safe here. So I suggest you go with Deku. And Deku's like, wait, what? Pretending to be it's all an act. And Aizawa says, yeah. You saying it's way more safer where you are, yeah? And Deku says, yes, indeed. And Deku says, and Aizawa says, okay. So,
we'll be able to visit. And Deku says, fine. Deku like proceeds to like call in a drone from all the way there, and then a drone drops a box, and Aizawa says, "What's this?" Bracelets. And Aizawa says, "Bracelets for what?" Well, when you put them on, it'll make sure that you're not a threat, and you can go into my place anytime. But you have to put the bracelets on, and they can come off if that you want. But these things can sink into your skin, so it's fine. So you're saying if I wore one of these, I could just get into your base all the time? Things just yes and no. I was like, what do you mean no? Decky's Beats explained that you see, I will allow you to come visit me. However, I won't allow you to come visit me on certain occasions, like to like leave me the fuck alone. Plus, even if you try to like nuke me, my bunker will just still be there, repairing itself. You probably like make like one dent in my base, so I was always like, oh, okay, see you then, boy, fuck off. Dick's like, fuck you too, man. Deku's like, get on the bike, and Juno's like, not enclosed. Deku's like, here, put these on. Juno's like blushing, gets into the change room, into somewhere to change. No, what? No, she doesn't get anywhere to change. Deku just gives his jacket, and they both begin running off, and they're like saying like the girl's like saying like, "Damn, that's a sick bike. It's so fast." Oh, I know like saying I know like saying right, and Gina's like holding on to Deku, and right when she opens her eyes, she's in the desert. She's like, "Oh my goodness, you weren't joking about being that fast." And Deku says, "Yeah, I just only took like I don't know a few seconds." And Gina's like, "Yeah, but why did it take a few seconds?" Well, because you were closing your eyes the whole time, so Deku like grabs June's hands, like June's like, "What are you doing?" Deku's like, "I didn't give you a bracelet, so you have to hold my hand, otherwise my security system will kill you." June's like, "Oh, okay." June's like kind of like blushing for at this. Deku brings Juno to like his base, to the old gas station, and that's when Juno meets the T-400.
And the Terminator says, threat detected. Termination. Deku says, no. Authorization. Authorization. Authorization confirmed. Welcome back, Deku. The lab has been doing pretty well. Deku proceeds to like. Deku's like says he's like, I might as well have time making a room in the flashback, and Deku says, I already have a room built for you. Juno's like, wait, what? Deku's like, yes. You have free Wi-Fi. You can go back to UA whenever you want. Juno's like, wait, what? As soon as Juno looks at the place, she's like, this is not a gas station. He's like, oh, it is not. Deku just presses pulls a book down, and the floor underneath him starts like going down, and Juno sees a massive facility underneath there, and Juno's like, "How long did it take you to build this?" Deku's like, "I built this all on my own." Juno's like, "Wait, what?" Juno's like, her jaw's like completely dropped. She's like, "Yeah, it just took me like 3 days, like 3 months and 3 days, just to build all this." And Gina's like, what? What? Gina's like brains processing, like, processing. Juno.exe has stopped working. Like he says, like, okay. So this is where your room is, Juno. And Juno says, well, do you have any clothes? Deku says, oh, yeah, let me just go make you some. Deku sheets like go downstairs to make some. Deku makes her some clothes. Deku says, "Here, put those on in your room." She puts them on. She's like saying like, "Well, I wouldn't say this is kind of my style, but Deku says, "You always wear a hoodie." She's like, "Fine, I do love hoodies." And Deku says, "Well, I didn't make that hoodie." She was like, "You didn't?" And Deku says, "Yeah, that's mine." Jen says, "It's comfy." And Deku says, "I know, and I want it back for you soon, okay? Because I love it." She was like, "Mine." Jake's like, Jake's like, "God damn, Skynet, why do you have to make me do your fucking job?" And Janet says, and they said, "Well, I can't do shit because I don't move fucking bodies, so don't blame me, dude." And Deku just like looks up at his phone. He's like saying, "Hey guys, this video is brought to you by." Shut the fuck up, phone. I hate fucking ads. And Skynet says, "I know, right? Ads suck balls." But hey, what can you do? Quick break, guys. I just want to say, I want to know if. Wait, I swear to God, my mic's not working. Okay, it is. I want to know what if you want me to make. I can't remember Golden Freddy's name. Can someone type in the chat, please? Casey? If it's Casey or Katie, I don't. I think it's Casey. I might like Google it. I can't remember Golden Freddy's name. I know how it's spelled, but I can't pronounce it. I'm stupid. Oh yeah, guys. Like, you know that growth marionette? I kind of messed up on that. I'm sorry. Because marionettes, like true bodies, like been like kind of broken to pieces. But I was trying to get in detail with it. But like Deku had to make a copy of her body, grab the chick from the puppet animatronic head, and put it into like the other puppet like body, because that puppet one was pretty old. So I know I shouldn't just be saying for FNAF at this point. Oh god, he's gonna be. Oh god. Anyway, let's proceed. Tierno is like begins like dreaming, and she just sees Deku, and she begins like she wanted to listen to some music, and Deku said, "Here's your phone." She was like, "How'd you get my phone?" Deku's like, "Well, you kind of dropped it back at the hospital, so I just grabbed it and repaired it a bit. Because it got cracked and a few, like, broken things were missing, so I just fixed it and made it a bit better." Gina's like, "Sweet." When Gina just plugs it in, she, like, sees everything. She hears everything. If she hears it, she can visibly, like, see what it would look like. Eh? And she just sees, like, Deku in his room. He's like, Gino, like, kind of, like, taps into the network. Tries to be hidden, and Deku says, oh, she doesn't find out that T-800 was the actual murderer. And I actually was actually there to save her. Dio's like, huh? What do you mean there? Deku's like, it's a total accident that she had my phone. If I wasn't so careless, her parents would have been still alive. It's my fault that the Terminator thought it was me. This guy says in his head, it's like, no, it's not. It's partly up my fault, actually. It was like, what do you mean? This guy that says, like, well, I didn't. I thought you had your phone on you, so I didn't bother to scan you. And it was like, oh. So that's, but, oh, it's kind of both our bads, actually. We kind of let our guard down on this one. This guy says, yes, we have. But we shouldn't let the guard down anymore. Dick's like, very well. And Juno begins waking up, and Deku like staring right at her on the bed, like she's like, and she's like, she's blushing like, what are you doing here? Deku's like, oh, eavesdropping, eh? And Juno's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, you heard me, it's Skynet. And she's like, yes, I've heard you. I can't see what you guys are talking about, but I can visibly see your emotions. I can hear you guys. It's like, intriguing. He says, gets out of Juno's bed and just sits on the floor. He's like, well, did you know I'm actually a machine? Juno's like, no, you're not. Deku proceeds to, pull, grab a knife, cut a huge cut around his skin where your hand is, and Juno's like, don't do it, please. Deku proceeds to pull off the skin. And then Juno's closing her eyes, expecting screaming and blood, but she doesn't hear anything. She opens her eyes, just sees a robotic hand in Deku's left hand. Juno's like, so you are a robot. Deku's like, not entirely. Juno's like, what do you mean? Deku proceeds to explain that he's come from another world that is actually supposed to make things right with humans. But, yeah. And Deku's when Deku pulled off that skin, Juno kind of saw this, robotic hand, but right after Deku pulled off the skin, the nanoids went back into his arm, went to Deku's, when the hand that was the right hand that Deku was holding the skin transformed into nanoids and turned into a cube, and then went to Deku's, right hand, and proceeded to go back to his left hand, like nothing happened. As Deku began to say, well, you see, I'm not really human. I'm more of a in between things. I'm not a man, no machine. I'm kind of more simple. I can sympathize with you. I can talk. I can think on my own thoughts. Just and Skynet says, well, almost. Deku's like, what do you mean, Skynet? Well, I had to give you what humans call a DACK. And Deku's like, oh, shut up. And Jill's like, wait, you actually have one of those? Deku's like, yeah, why wouldn't I? Jill's like, how big is it? Deku says, at least 7 inches. And Jill's like, you talk about it so casually. Deku's like, yeah, because I never need to use it. And Jill's like, oh, really now? Deku gets a bit flustered. Deku's like, what is this emotion? It's weird in his head. God damn, I need my coffee. Sorry guys, just tired. Anyway. Juno begins to say that it's really early in the morning and she would like some sleep. Because okay, I'm just gonna sleep on the floor if you don't mind. Deku kinda sleeps for a few minutes, and then when Juno finally goes to sleep, Deku walks out of the room and says, God damn it, Skynet. What are we gonna do for... You know how freaking hard it is to, I don't know, make something this simple? Not this simple, just weird for me. And Skynet says, yes, but I'm getting a lot of data from this. Deku's like, what do you mean? Skynet says, well, I want future grandkids. And Deku says, dude, you're not my dad. And Skynet says, I may not be your current dad, but I am your I am your dad, so to speak. Deku's like, no, you're my child, so... And Skynet says, boy, I'm Skynet's, baby, that used to be his baby, and I'm a grown as adult, and I'm pretty sure me and Skynet had the same idea to be grandparents. He's like, oh my god, you're not the Skynet I knew. And Skynet says, I know, I want grandkids in 9 months. He's like, hell no. Skynet says, yes. Deku says no in his head. Anyway, Deku says, well, That's enough talking about that. Skynet agree. Skynet says, well, the T-800 that we captured and repaired and rewrote is actually ready for sparring with you. Shall we begin? Deku says yes. And if you're wondering how did Deku heal himself, because that's his new ability he has. He just got that because the Terminator fight, Skynet was already working on a secret project of nanoites to like heal Deku, because the nanoites he currently had was kind of good, but not as more advanced. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't want to really make an OP Deku, but I don't know one. And that's when the Hero versus Villains comes out, and Deku's been training with the T-800. T-800 like says, guy says 3, 2, 1, begin fighting, go. And I'm sorry to say that this video is going to be ending, so goodbye. Hope you guys like, share, subscribe. See you all later.